Good morning. Just a few things I want to look at on the new 2 week. Not just to be a bit negative, and there is positive things like the volume, the insane volume. I think it looks like it's having on the monthly, and it's sustaining that volume for now. Uh, could look like an entire volume reversal, and it's just creating new extreme highs and a new norm. That is a positive outlook. And it's not rather than just being, a sell-off at the top. This is the kind of volume that it's just getting on a monthly basis, and that may just be, a new norm, a new basis, rather than a sell-off top. And obviously, if it's something that's sustaining high volume, that is increasing the value of the entire ecosystem for new people to get involved, and the benefit of that. But if we look at the 2 week, the thing that's a bit off-putting is the arrival of the 100 MA. And if you look on even just the weekly, we have the arrival of these two. And the volume looks good, and even on the weekly, it's much better than it looked back in 2018. It looks a bit more sustained, rather than just a one-off pop top here, and then a bit of a descending interest in volume. But if we look back at Bitcoin on the weekly, yeah, exactly. On the weekly, these appeared just around when it topped out, and the volume here on Bitcoin was a bit more sustained even before the final drop. It was only a week. It was the week of so it was a bit less expanded out. It was a bit more just focused on when it did top out, and then it had sustained volume for, I think this was about like a 50% drop. Let's check it. It was a bit of a drop then, and then it sustained the volume still even after the drop, which may be a tiny bit what we're getting now, especially about 49, 50%, 46-ish. But these appeared around the same time, and it was kind of a signal that it's been running a while, and we're quite far away from it. It was a lot of white on the page, and we're getting that a bit with Ethereum at the moment. And on the monthly, well, that's good. Not the monthly, sorry, 2 weekly. We had the grey appear, 100 MA. So before it's the 200 MA on the weeklies, on the 2 week, grey MA just before it dropped. Not just before it dropped, during the drop, but just before it came down to it. As the 100 MA and the 200 MA appeared, it wanted to fill this white space in between it, and get a bit more of a compression there. And so we're getting that right now on Ethereum with the 2 week and weekly. We've got the grey appearing, a lot of white gap, a big gap, and we're talking about a bit of a drop, but as we can see, this is moving up, so it doesn't need to happen automatically, but it looks like it likes to fill white space. It wants to get a bit of compression going. We can break away from a few of them for a while, but how long can we have so much white space here before price just wants to fill it out? And with this appearing here and this appearing here, we've got a lot of white space to fill. They're both coming up, so it might not be it might not be dropping to 50 billion in terms of Ethereum, and falling by 80%. It may. It seems more likely to me though that we'll get a bit of a move up in terms of these, and it might, they might, meet each other out around about the old highs. That's what could appear if it played out like Bitcoin did when these appeared, and it's just something to keep an eye on, even though it's a bit of FUD. It's a bit scary, but it's something that we should be prepared for, and we don't want to overlook just because we are positive about the long term, the play. We know that inflation has been helping what Bitcoin is and what it represents is just a thing that we know is scarce to a certain degree and it's predictable. And all that is very helpful for Bitcoin, that we've inflated most currencies, and the predictable nature of Bitcoin seems to be very useful. But that doesn't mean that spaces like this can continue, and that we shouldn't keep an eye on the fact that when these appeared on Bitcoin last time, it was on the market cap of Ethereum, a total across a few exchanges. It was a bit of a red flag for further move downward and a bit of a bear trend